My wife thought I didn't know she was cheating until I played the recording at the dinner. Alright, I've never posted anything like this before, but I need to get this story off my chest. Maybe someone out there has been through something similar, or maybe I just need the world to know what really happened to me. I'll start from the night that flipped my entire world upside down. It was a Thursday evening. I remember that because Thursday used to be our date night. My wife Lisa had this tradition where we'd either go out to eat or cook something special at home and just unwind. No phones, no work talk, just us. That Thursday, though, everything felt off. She got home late. Real late. Like 2 hours after she usually does. I was already halfway through the steak I made us. And yeah, I cooked. Lisa always joked that I was the wife in our marriage because I liked cooking and doing laundry. Har har. Anyway, when she walked in, she looked frazzled. Makeup smudged, hair a mess, blouse halfway untucked. I asked what happened, and she gave this half laugh and said, "Oh, crazy day at work?" Sorry, traffic was insane. But the thing is, her office is 15 minutes away. Even with traffic, that didn't add up. I didn't say anything right away. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. We've been married 6 years, and Lisa's always been the type who gets flustered easily. Maybe it was just a bad day. We sat down. She barely touched her food, said she wasn't feeling hungry. Then she asked me this weird question out of nowhere. She said, "If I ever did something really stupid, would you hate me?" I kinda laughed, thinking she was being dramatic. I said, "What, like burn a house down by accident or something?" But she didn't laugh. She just stared at her plate and whispered, "Something worse." My stomach dropped. You know when you feel your heartbeat in your ears? That's exactly what happened. But again, I brushed it off. Told myself she was overworked, stressed, emotional. Maybe she messed something up at her job. God, I was so wrong. That night she passed out early, claimed she had a headache. I stayed up drinking a beer, trying to shake the weird feeling. And that's when I heard her phone vibrate on the coffee table. I swear I wasn't trying to snoop. I just glanced at the screen. One notification. Text. From someone saved as him. The message said, "You left your earring in my car. Hope your husband didn't notice." Winky face. I froze. My brain tried to come up with any innocent explanation. Maybe M was Melissa, her best friend? Maybe it was a joke? But deep down, I knew. I didn't sleep that night. I just stared at the ceiling, playing every memory back in my head. Every late meeting. Every time she didn't feel like being close. Every awkward silence. Every damn thing I ignored. The next morning, I waited until she left for work, and then I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone. I don't even know how I remembered her passcode, but my hands were shaking as I typed it in. They opened on the first try. I went straight to her messages. And there it was. Was Marcus. Her boss. The same guy she once told me was so annoying and a total creep. But the messages didn't sound annoyed. They sounded like something straight out of a bad movie. There were pictures, hotel reservations, dirty jokes. I felt like I was reading a script from a life that wasn't mine. The worst part? There was one voice message I accidentally played. In it, she was laughing, saying how clueless I was. How easy it was to keep me distracted. That was the moment something inside me snapped. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because I needed a plan. I needed to know everything before I made my move. And that's where this story really begins. So yeah, I could have gone nuclear right then and there. I could have printed out those texts, thrown them in her face the second she got home, and watched her squirm. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But I didn't. Because something about how casual she sounded in that voice message, it made me realize I didn't just want revenge. I wanted her to feel what it was like to be betrayed. So I played it cool. That morning, after finding everything, I took a cold shower, got dressed, and even texted her. "Have a good day at work. Love you." She replied, "Love you too. Can't wait for dinner tonight." It made me sick. I spent that entire day spiraling. I couldn't focus. I didn't eat. My hands kept clenching into fists every time I pictured her laughing with him. In his car. At his place. Maybe even on our damn bed when I wasn't home. But by the time she got back that night, I had already started my plan. First, I needed proof. Solid proof. I wasn't going to be one of those people who got gaslit with, "It was nothing," or "You're overreacting." I wanted undeniable, punch-you-in-the-gut evidence. So I reached out to my buddy Nate. Nate's the kind of guy who knows a guy. You need a camera hidden in a plant? He's got it. You need to track a car? No problem. I didn't even have to explain everything. I just said, "Lisa's cheating. I need eyes." He was over in an hour. We installed a small GPS tracker under her rear bumper and a hidden camera in our living room disguised as a phone charger. It felt shady, wrong. But cheating on your spouse and mocking them behind their back, that's a whole different level of wrong. For the next 3 days, I acted like nothing was happening. I kissed her goodbye in the mornings. I cooked dinner. We even watched a movie together, though I can't remember a damn thing about it. I was too busy watching her, analyzing every fake smile, every "I love you." Meanwhile, the tracker showed she was taking detours after work. Never straight home. Sometimes she'd stop at a hotel. Sometimes just sit parked in a random street for 45 minutes before heading back. And every time I asked her about it, she had some excuse. I stopped for groceries. Oh, traffic was crazy. Had to take a call. Lies. So many lies. On the 4th day, I finally hit the jackpot. The camera in our living room recorded something that made my blood run cold. I was at work. She was home alone, or so I thought. But around noon, she walked in with Marcus, the man I'd only ever seen in office Christmas party photos. He looked exactly like the type: cocky smile, expensive watch, too much cologne. They didn't even wait. He grabbed her the second they got in. She was giggling, telling him to be quiet, saying I might come home early. And then on our couch, the one we picked out together, she let him kiss her. Right there. I paused the footage and stared at the screen. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just felt numb. That was all I needed. But I wasn't going to confront her yet. No. I needed one last thing before I made my move. So I booked a reservation for Saturday night at her favorite restaurant. The one we went to for anniversaries. Candlelight. Wine. Big windows. She'd think it was a romantic gesture. But really, it was the stage for her downfall. And the guest list? Let's just say it was about to get very, very awkward. Saturday rolled around, and I had everything in place. The reservation was set for 7:30. Lisa thought it was just a surprise dinner, me being romantic, maybe trying to spice things up again. She even made a comment about how I'd been acting more like my old self lately. Yeah, if only she knew. I wore the same suit I wore on our wedding day. Not for her. For me. Because I wanted to remember who I used to be before all of this. Before she shattered everything we built together. Lisa came downstairs looking like a goddess. Red dress, heels, hair curled. She looked breathtaking. And it hurt. Because she wasn't mine anymore. Not really. She smiled, wrapped her arms around me, and said, "This is so sweet. What's the occasion?" I kissed her on the cheek and said, "You'll see." We drove to the restaurant. Classical music, low lighting, the whole 9 yards. She ordered her usual wine. I ordered water. I needed to stay sharp. We made small talk for a few minutes, just like any other couple. But I was watching the time. Because I told Marcus 8 p.m. I told him Lisa had planned a surprise double date, and that was supposed to be a fun reveal. The man actually thanked me for inviting him. At exactly 8:03, I saw him walk in. He didn't see me at first. He was scanning the room with that smug, punchable smile. Lisa's back was to the entrance, so she hadn't noticed yet. I waved. He waved back, still clueless. And then he froze, because Lisa turned around. And I swear I will never forget the look on her face. First confusion, then horror. Her eyes darted between me and him, and she stammered, "Wait, what's going on?" I smiled. Calm. Controlled. "Lisa," I said, "look who showed up. Your boss. Marcus. What a coincidence, huh?" Marcus took a step forward and said, "Hey, Lisa. You said it was a surprise, right?" I cut in. "Yeah. Huge surprise." Lisa looked like she was about to pass out. Her hands were trembling. I I don't understand. Why is he here? Because I invited him, I said. Because I wanted to meet the man who's been sleeping with my wife. Silence. Dead, suffocating silence. The couple at the next table turned to look. A waiter froze mid-step. You could hear a pin drop. Lisa's mouth opened and closed, like she couldn't decide which lie to go with. But I didn't give her the chance. I pulled out my phone and played the audio from the living room camera. Just 5 seconds. Her giggling. Her whispering. We have to be quick. He might come home. The color drained from her face. Do you know where that was recorded? I asked. Our couch. You remember that couch, right? The one we picked out on our anniversary weekend. Marcus looked like he wanted to melt into the floor. Dude, listen, I didn't know she was. I held up a hand. I don't want to hear it from you. You? You're nothing. This isn't even about you. I turned to Lisa. My voice shook just a little. I loved you. I gave you everything. You could have told me you weren't happy. You could have left. But instead, you played me. Tears welled up in her eyes. Please, can we talk about this somewhere else? Please. I stood up, tossed some cash on the table. More than enough to cover the wine and her fake smile. And then I looked her dead in the eye. We're done. I walked out. But the story wasn't over yet. Because what happened after I left that restaurant? That was the real twist. When I walked out of that restaurant, I expected that to be it. Done. Over. Burned to the ground like it deserved to be. I figured she'd cry. Maybe beg. Maybe scream. Who knows? But I didn't expect what actually happened. See, I stayed in a hotel that night. Turned my phone off, didn't check messages, didn't look at socials. I needed space. Silence. A damn minute to think. The next morning, I turned my phone on, expecting a flood of texts. There were none. That felt weird. Too quiet. So I checked our shared bank account. Yeah, I hadn't thought to separate finances yet. And that's when I saw it. $3,000. Gone. Transferred. To an account I didn't recognize. I blinked. Checked it again. Same result. I called the bank. They said the account belonged to Lisa. A new secondary savings account she had opened under her name 3 months ago. 3 months ago. Right around the time she started getting home late. I don't know why, but something in me snapped again. Not enraged this time, just cold. Mechanical. I called her. She picked up instantly, voice shaking. I didn't think you'd call. I saw the transfer, I said. Silence. You've been taking money. Behind my back. She sighed. It's not what you think. Then what is it? She hesitated. I needed a way out. I almost dropped the phone. A way out? Are you serious? I was the one who got cheated on. I didn't know how to tell you, she whispered. Marcus, he promised me a fresh start. He said I didn't need to stay stuck. That I deserved better. I laughed. Not out of humor, just disbelief. You were going to leave me? With my own money. That's not fair, she snapped, suddenly getting bold. You were always so safe. Predictable. I needed something more. Oh, there it was. That knife twist. Lisa, I loved you. I chose you every single day. And I was suffocating, she shouted. She didn't even realize it, but she was confirming every horrible thing I'd suspected. I've been nothing but loyal. Steady. Solid. And to her, that was boring. But here's the twist. She didn't leave with Marcus. Because just hours after our dinner disaster, he ghosted her. Blocked her on everything. Turns out Marcus was married. With kids. All those hotel visits, all those late-night texts. She wasn't his new beginning. She was his side piece. And when I exposed everything at dinner, he bailed. Cut ties. Covered his own ass. Now Lisa was left with nothing. Not him. Not me. Just an empty account she tried to steal from and a wrecked marriage. She called me again that night, sobbing. Please, can we fix this? Fix this. I wanted to scream. But instead, I asked one question. Do you love me? There was a long pause. I don't know, she whispered. And that was the real answer. I don't know. That answer echoed in my head for days. Not yes, not even no, just, I don't know. After everything, after years of building a life together, sharing dreams, fighting through hard times, that was all she could say. That was when I realized something. I had spent so much time trying to figure out where I went wrong that I forgot to see where I went right. Because I didn't cheat. I didn't lie. I didn't steal money from someone who trusted me. She did. And somehow, I was the one left feeling broken. No, not anymore. The next week, I filed for divorce. No warning. No dramatic speech. Just paperwork. She didn't even fight it. Maybe she knew it was over. Maybe she finally realized what she threw away. But the wild part, about a month after I moved into my own place, I got a message from Marcus's wife. She had seen the tracker data I emailed anonymously. The texts, the photos, everything. I didn't do it out of spite. I just thought she deserved the truth too. She thanked me, told me she was leaving Marcus, said she hoped I was doing okay. And you know what? I really was. Because sometimes the people who hurt you the most save you. They force you to start over, to rebuild, to finally put yourself first. A few weeks ago, I was walking out of a coffee shop when I saw Lisa. She looked tired, like life had drained her a little. We made eye contact, and for a second, I saw it all hit her, the weight of everything she lost. She smiled, a small, sad smile, and I just nodded. Didn't say a word, because I didn't need to anymore. I had nothing left to prove, no pain to carry, just peace. I went home that night, sat on my new couch, and realized something I hadn't felt in a long time. Freedom. Not just from her. From all of it. The lies. The pretending. The weight of trying to fix something that had already rotted at the core. And if you're listening to this, maybe going through your own version of hell, let me just say this. You are not crazy. You are not too much. And you will get through it. Because sometimes rock bottom isn't where you crash. It's where you bounce back. And that's where I am now.